Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to Monday. The greatest day of the week. It means we have all the whole week to spend together. The whole stinking week. Is that beautiful? It's a beautiful thing.
I mean, sounds beautiful.
It is beautiful.
In theory.
Yeah. I love it in theory and fact. 888-900-3393. What a day for football yesterday. A really old record fell yesterday. I guess it'd been tied, for maybe 10 or 15, 20 years. I forget when it got
Which
tied.
one? There's so many.
But
records.
What was his name? Was it Tom Dempsey who set that record of the New Orleans Saints? He had half a foot or something, and he kicked with that specialized shoe.
Yeah.
And he kicked a 63-yarder. Yesterday, that was finally surpassed. 66-yard field goal.
That was
from Justin Tucker.
Very, very dramatic how that happened.
That's pretty cool.
As it hits, hits the crossbar, bounces straight up in the air.
Oh, wow.
And then through to stick a dagger into the heart of Lions fans everywhere yet again.
So the Baltimore Ravens beat the Lions on that last second field goal. Incredible. That's a great kick. And sometimes, you'll see somebody kick a 54-yarder. Mm-hmm. It looks like it could have gone 10 or 15 yards further. Well, this one actually did.
And sorry, Lions fans, on that delay of game call.
Yeah, the Lions fans probably so prevalent.
Are
there Lions fans?
Yeah.
Are there?
Steve Dace, for one.
Oh, really?
So how about the 109-yard return off of the field goal?
Yeah, they tried a
68-yarder.
68 yards.
Yeah. And Jaguars caught it at the back of the end zone. And
ran it all the way back.
Took it back. Hey, Falcons finally won.
Yeah. They beat
the Giants.
Yeah. Okay.
And they have the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs now, I'd like to point out.
No. Chiefs lost again yesterday?
Chargers, yes, sir.
Wow, I didn't see that. Packers won.
Ooh, that was
another last-second thing.
That was a miracle. Don't trust
30-28.
Any fourth-quarter lead. It doesn't matter if there are any...
Not when Aaron Rodgers is quarterback.
Or when Kyle Shanahan is the coach.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah. More on trivia correct then. Finally.
How about that? So we've got the same record as the Falcons as well. Right? Or 1-2?
2-1. Oh, you're talking about more on trivia? I'm sorry. I was hung up on the Packers there.
Now the Pack is 2-1.
Yep. So there we go. We got off the schneid, Pat.
Yeah, that's great.
And so this week, more on trivia will bring you...
What is a schneid, by the way?
It's something that you're on when you don't have a win.
I see.
And then when you get off of it, that means you just won.
Okay.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady against his old team at the New England Patriots. That's more on trivia for this week.
That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Fun one. Now, Nebraska barely got beat. You were predicting a victory, I believe, over Michigan State. Didn't quite happen, right? 23-20. You watched that game?
Did I watch that game?
Of course you watched it.
I lived that game.
Was it heartbreaking?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They blew it. But, it was...
what are you going to do?
Moral victory there, right?
Yeah, they've had a couple of them this year.
Yeah.
A couple moral victories.
But,
They don't add to the win column, but make you feel a little bit better for the future.
Great defense.
BYU won again.
Mm-hmm.
4-0.
You're up to 13 now, right?
Yeah. Defense did not do. Of course, they were without 5 starters, but still, it's next guy up. You got to perform.
Injuries, COVID, what's going on
injuries.
there? Oh, okay.
Haven't heard of COVID for any team for quite a while now.
Yeah, see, basically where you hear about COVID is in segments of society that the government wants to control, like your children in classrooms.
That's exactly right.
That's where you're going to hear about COVID.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in fact, the one thing I've seen about COVID and football is that the packed crowds that we're seeing at football games are not super spreader events, which is what we said all along. It's outside. You're not going to get it. And they're not. People aren't. So
unless you're in a place like a park in, say, the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
For example, that's where...
Well, then you have to be arrested.
Right. That's where there's got to be control. Mm-hmm. And so that's where you see it crack down. Mm-hmm. Or Australia.
And speaking of the virus, move over Ivermectin is the... let's see, who wrote this article for the Blaze? I'll have to look. But the new thing that they're bashing because they don't want anybody to get better. Really, I think they just want to make money from the vaccines.
Correct.
That's about it. It's just it's a money making machine for people, and so everybody's getting down now on the nasal sprays that you can use. Now, the nasal spray makes some sense because isn't that where the virus kind of coagulates in your system? There's a lot of virus in your nose. And so if you got a high viral load and you take an anti-viral, something that helps with infections, like this. This says, imagine reducing your viral load of COVID and decreasing your chance of hospitalization 19-fold. Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's worth trying.
Mm-hmm.
With a $15 solution. There's your problem. Nobody's making money from it. Well, the corporate media has gotten wind of it too, and now they're attacking the nasal irrigation concoctions. It's now becoming clear that not only do the vaccines not stop transmission, but they seem to have spawned even more transmission in the most vaccinated countries, like Israel, for instance. Studies have shown that the vaccinated might also carry higher viral loads. Either way, it's clear that the current iteration of the virus is spreading higher viral loads for everyone, which makes people sicker on a shorter timeline. Okay, so somebody had the idea to try some kind of nose spray, and it's been working. And, of course, the media is pissed off about it.
Yeah, we can't be having that stuff. Come on, man.
Some anti-vaxxers are gargling the common antiseptic betadine in an attempt, is it betadine or betadine? Whatever it is. You shouldn't be taking it, apparently, in an attempt to treat and prevent the coronavirus, according to Newsweek. Mind you, the media are the ones framing every treatment being pitted against the vaccination, when, in fact, the vaccinated carry a greater viral load and are now getting sick from the virus as well. So it wouldn't hurt them to be taking this too.
Right.
Just how good is pre and post exposure nasal and oral irrigation? A randomized controlled trial in Bangladesh. There's your problem. Nobody's going to believe it because it happened in Bangladesh. But they tested 606 people. Half of them took the nasal and oral iodine sprays, and it resulted in an 84% reduction in hospitalizations and an 88% reduction in mortality.
Wow.
That seems like it's worth taking to me. Problem's a lot like with Ivermectin because it poses a major threat to the system that everybody's making money from.
Yeah. I saw a nice little fun fact here. The booster shots alone are going to bring in $26 billion for Pfizer and BioNTech.
Jeez.
And about $14 billion coming into Moderna. And I guess the profit on this is going to be so much greater than the original shots because there's no research and development associated with these.
Right.
So if you ever thought...
So this is really the money shot.
Right. So if you ever thought that part of the plan wasn't booster shots, you would be incorrect. Cha-ching.
I just saw where Johnson & Johnson with their one-shot thing, they're begging the FDA now to approve a booster shot from them as well. So that one-shot thing, just one shot. You don't have to get two. It's just one shot. Yeah, not so much now. Now you get to get two of those too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
incredible.
If you think money isn't the goal here for
Makes the
business,
world go round.
And control isn't the goal here for governments,
right?
You're not following close along here.
Yes, that's very true. Let's see. Sue in Illinois. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I wanted to say something. When they had the Mexican Independence Day here in Aurora, Illinois, our mayor raised up the Mexican flag downtown and took down the state flag and had it up there. So my husband, who's a veteran, got so upset he went downtown with a shirt that said, "I stand for the flag and kneel at the cross." And he marched around with an American flag for 2 days downtown by the mayor's office and all through the downtown Aurora.
Wow. Good for him. Good for him.
Well,
was he alone? Did anybody join him?
No, but a lot of people honked and gave him the thumbs up. And then one guy came and said, "Can I help you?" And I told my husband he should have told him, if you're a patriot, you can carry the flag.
Yeah. Yep. Appreciate
it's
it.
It's time that people stand up for what's right.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sue. Appreciate it. It is America. I believe that's what she was saying as we prematurely had hang-up-elation there on her.
Mm-hmm.
Premature hang-up-elation.
Yeah, I mean, it affects
There's some pills.
a lot of people.
Yeah, there are pills that you can take, though. So, Kirby, maybe you should look into that. Okay. 888-900-3393.
Yeah, so she's talking about Mexico, and, we've got...
When is Mexican Independence Day? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Must be recent.
Arriba! We should know this because we're going to be compelled to celebrate it.
Sure.
Let's see here. What day? September 16th. Oh, that's
okay.
That's probably why. What is it?
11 days ago.
A thing there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the immigration situation between us and Mexico, that's under control, right?
Oh, completely. Yeah, there's no problem at the border. The border is secure.
What border?
Mayorkas told us that again. The border's secure. Stop your belly aching. Mm-hmm. And any problems that exist there are from Donald Trump anyway.
And racist border patrol.
Thank you.
Guys on horseback.
Oh, my gosh. Let me show you this disturbing. Please have your children leave the room for a second.
Careful here. Careful, yeah.
Because here's a depiction of one of the border agents performing the
what's he doing?
inhumane act.
And it's a kid this time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a child.
Crap.
Look at that. Oh, my gosh.
Get the child smiling.
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
No, but he seems happy.
It's just horrific.
And he's looking at the horsey.
That's not what's happening there.
He's
whipping that poor child.
No, the border agent's like kneeling down talking to him.
He's got a whip, and he's whipping that poor child.
I think it's...
Apparently...
That's not what I'm getting from this.
Huh.
Did you hear, by the way, the photographer's down there?
Yes! We're just about to get into that. The actual photographer who took the pictures of the Haitians being rounded up said, I didn't see anybody getting whipped. I don't know what you're talking about. But
now...
From the guy who took the pictures. But it doesn't matter.
Does not matter. The narrative was already scripted, just like the booster
And they will not
narrative.
back off. They won't say, okay, look, it looked bad, but I guess it wasn't. They won't admit to any of that. They will never admit that they were wrong about anything. It's really, it's evil. I think we've expressed that before.
And I've pointed out, like, you see the migrants crossing the Rio Grande holding their cell phones up so their iPhones, the warranty doesn't get, voided out by them getting wet in the water there.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone pointed out that they're, like, carrying, like, to-go boxes? Have you seen the pictures, like, where they're crossing and they're carrying, like, was there a restaurant on the other side of the border?
And they couldn't eat everything, so they got a doggy bag to go?
I keep seeing all these pictures, and they're carrying food in, like, styrofoam foam containers in bags. Anyway,
it's crazy.
Anyhow.
But what's going on at the border is just so horrific. Vice President Harris has said this. There needs to be consequences and accountability. Human beings should not be treated that way.
Oh, gosh.
She's exactly right. The border agents should be compensated, and everybody who's lying about the border agents should be held accountable. So tired of it. The lies that they keep spewing these unbelievable lies when everybody has seen the footage with their own eyes. And again, even the photographer who took the photos initially said they were not being whipped. Does that matter to this administration? No. The lies continue. Here's just a brief sample of some of the lies we've been hearing lately.
Okay.
Testifying before Congress last week, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas defended his agency's handling of the border security amid the Haitian migrant influx. He said, as we were just mentioning, the border is secure. We're executing our plan. No less secure than it was previously, he said. Setting aside the crisis in Del Rio, illegal immigration overall has exploded under this president. Border crossings in June hit the highest levels in 21 years. During the month of July alone, border agents encountered more than 212,000 people attempting to cross illegally. Now, what they used to say, and I don't know if these numbers still hold, but they actually encountered about 1 in 3 illegals that came across the border. So that means for everybody they saw, 2 more got through unnoticed. We don't. That's why we don't have any idea what the numbers are. They're astronomical, and they've been using the 11 million figure for over 20 years now. Over 20 years. When we were in Houston, they were saying there's 11 million illegals. There's got to be at least double that now, maybe triple.
It might get to the point any day now where we're just counting the number of legal American citizens because that'll be the smaller number.
Right. So there's lie number 1.
Okay.
You will be returned. Mayorkas made a big deal about discouraging Haitians from heading to Del Rio and said if you come to the United States illegally, you will be returned. Mm-hmm. Nothing could be further from the truth. They're not returning them. In fact, he just admitted to releasing 12,000 Haitians into the country. Just let them go. All right, see you later. Hey, you know what? Give us a phone call in 90 days, and we'll set up a little hearing for you somewhere to get you squared away.
That's effectively the entire clip right there. Yeah, I mean, it's outrageous.
It's just, let's go ahead and show it anyway, just so you can see it from the horse's mouth, as it were. The horses, so like the horses.
I see what you're doing.
The borders. Yeah. See what I did? Yeah.
It's even worse when he says this.
Here he is talking about releasing them into the U.S.
I want to start with those 30,000 Haitian migrants who came across the border into Del Rio, Texas, since September 9th, as you say. You say that 12,400 will have their cases heard by an immigration judge, and another 5,000 are being processed by your department. Mr. Secretary, of those 17,400, how many have been released into the U.S. and how many more potentially could be released into the U.S.?
So, Chris, about 3,000 are actually in detention. And we make those detention determinations in the best interest of the American public.
They had to stay after
Others
school,
are in immigration court proceedings. They are monitored by us. We impose conditions upon them, so we keep in touch with them and ensure their appearance in court as the law requires.
But to answer my question directly, of the 17,400 that weren't deported back or didn't return on their own to Mexico, how many of them first, how many have been released into the U.S.?
They're released on conditions, and approximately, I think it's about 10,000 or so. 12,000
have been released.
Yes.
And of the 5,000 that are still in process?
15,000.
We will make determinations whether 20. They will be returned to Haiti based on our public health and public interest authorities.
Oh.
So are we talking about a total of 12,000 or could it be even higher?
It could be even higher.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right.
Brutal.
Wow. All right.
But hey, congratulations to the Biden administration. We're now not talking about Afghanistan.
That is true.
And
it's very true.
But it's just amazing to watch the propaganda at work in real time, and how not only did we pivot off of Afghanistan to the border crisis, but then we tried to make it about something that it wasn't, white supremacy and whipping Haitians.
Yeah, but they just make stuff up.
But here's the quote
to change the subject.
Joe Biden: "I promise you, those people, the border agents, will pay.
Oh, yeah.
There will be an investigation underway now." And wait, your tense is screwed up there. There will be an investigation underway now.
Wait, what?
And there will be consequences. There will be consequences.
Yeah, and the head of the Border Patrol Agency said, what's he talking about? Putting us in jail? What are you going to do to us for doing our job?
Yeah. Let's see. One agent said he just started a war with Border Patrol.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they don't care.
No.
Because they have so much help from the media that they don't get the PR beating that they should get. All right, let me tell you about Omega XL. If you have pain, there's a really good chance that it's brought on by inflammation. And once you calm down the inflammation, then the pain goes away. That was certainly the case for me with my left elbow. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know that I did anything.
Life, old age.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I mean, not old age. I mean,
right.
like you're just an athlete that
exactly.
it wore out over time.
Thank you.
Because of overuse.
Too many injuries, playing sports
ball
stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I finally took Omega XL, and I was a little skeptical at first because it's all natural, and I just thought, wow, anything all natural can't work. It does. Don't let that fool you. In fact, it's a huge positive because you're not taking something that's going to be bad for your body in the long run, something that you might get addicted to or your body becomes dependent upon. It's backed by 35 years of clinical research. It's the omega fatty acids from the pristine waters around New Zealand. And it just has an off switch for the inflammation. So get started now by going to omegaxl.com right now, .com/pad, and order your first bottle of Omega XL and get your second bottle for free. So omegaxl.com/Pat is where you go. You buy one, you get one free. omegaxl.com/Pat or 800-844-4888.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, we've got to show you this other clip of Chris Wallace and Alejandro Mayorkas talking about the border situation.
Why did you allow them in the country in the first place? Why didn't you build, forgive me, a wall or a fence to stop them from walking in this flood of people coming across the dam? It looks like a highway that allows them to cross the Rio Grande.
It is the policy of this administration. We do not agree with the building of the wall. The law provides that individuals can make a claim for humanitarian relief. That is actually one of our proudest traditions.
Bullcrap. One of our proudest traditions is allowing people to sneak across our border illegally. Shut up. These people. It's incomprehensible how they're in office. It really is.
It's a proud tradition to not have sovereign borders in America.
Sure. It is for the Democrats. Mm-hmm. That is a proud tradition for them. So some of the lies, back to the lies of this administration. The border's no less secure than it ever has been. Bullcrap. They will be returned when they come across the border illegally. Well, why would you even say that if it's such a proud tradition to allow everybody in? Then you got the whipping of the Haitian refugees, which didn't happen. There's not an ounce of evidence about it. Did they actually try to round them up or keep them from coming into the country on horseback? Yes, but they didn't do anything wrong. And now they're being threatened by the President of the United States. Wow. So there's another lie. In Afghanistan, we're going to stay until we get everybody out. We're going to get all the Americans out, and we're going to get our Afghan allies out. We saw that fall by the wayside. There are still, we don't even know how many, but there's thousands. There are thousands of Americans left behind in Afghanistan. Nobody is stranded, according to Jen Psaki. Might remember that. Yeah, no American was stranded. She was really offended by that. But here they are, stranded. In August, Biden defended the withdrawal by arguing that because the extremist group Al-Qaeda had been eradicated from Afghanistan, there's really no problem here. What interest do we have in Afghanistan at this point with Al-Qaeda gone? We went to Afghanistan for the express purpose of getting rid of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, as well as getting Osama bin Laden, and we did. So the reality is Al-Qaeda retains a strong presence in Afghanistan, a fact that Biden's own Pentagon made clear within hours of this false claim that he made. As far as Taliban intelligence, Biden contradicted many of his top advisors when describing the expectations of military and intelligence agencies before the Taliban seized Kabul. Remember, he said everybody was in agreement. Everybody thinks that the Afghans can hold their own. They've got the fourth most powerful army now in the world. They're the strongest in the area. Don't worry about the Afghans. They got it. We gave them all the things they need to protect themselves and keep the Taliban at bay. No. He said, Biden said the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing? I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why you shouldn't be president. General Mark Milley said there was nothing I or anyone else saw that indicated a collapse of this army and this government in 11 days. Completely untrue. And many people have come forward and said, no, we warned them about this, and we've known about this the whole time. He lied at a CNN town hall event in late July, downplaying the rising concerns over inflation, including auto prices. He said the cost of an automobile, it's kind of back to what it was before the pandemic. Not true. Another fat lie. The cost of cars, like the cost of goods across the spectrum, has skyrocketed this year, exacerbated by a global shortage in semiconductors needed for production. That's driven up the price of used cars as well. In June, the average cost of a used car jumped more than 32% over the same period last year. We got gas prices. With people paying more at the pump, Biden attempted earlier this month to cast blame on pandemic profiteers. We're also going after the bad actors and pandemic profiteers in our economy. There's a lot of evidence gas prices should be going down, but they haven't. We're taking a close look at that. He's always taking a look at something. We're taking a close look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, then I feel so much better. Instead, experts attribute the price at the pump and the increases there to supply chain disruptions, shortage of tanker drivers, and robust demand from an increase in travel that has seen more people hit the road in recent months. And then the voting lies that we've been hearing, railing against state-level GOP voting laws in mid-July. Biden made a series of inaccurate claims about election reforms as he sought to create a sense of urgency for the federal legislation they wanted to jam down our throats. Referring to laws in Georgia and Texas, he described those efforts as 21st century Jim Crow assault. In fact, it should be Jim Eagle. It's so bad that it's beyond just a crow. It should be Jim Eagle.
Yeah, Jim.
Remember, he loved that.
Jim Crow on steroids.
Which makes it Jim Eagle laws. Yeah, because eagles are better than crows.
Either that or it just makes a really buff crow. So bad.
Oh, man. In Georgia, for example, the new election law actually added days, just as it did in Texas. We added days to be able to vote. And in his own stupid home state of Delaware, they have a total of 1 day to vote. That's election day. They don't even have early voting in Delaware.
Sounds like
lying.
Like we got some Jim Eagle going on in Delaware then.
Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. You know what? They're just trying to keep minorities from voting. That's what they're doing. And it's despicable. Really is despicable. Oof. So there's that, and that is fun. Then people wonder why we like to talk about football on the show. It's the only thing that brings any comfort to us. Also, coming up, we got to tell you about the IRS attack to track all bank accounts. That doesn't seem reasonable, lawful, constitutional. Few of the words it doesn't seem like it is. We'll get into that.
But they're just looking out for you, man.
Oh,
just trying to protect you.
Are they? Is that what they're doing? That is so sweet. Wow. What a nice government we have to be watching our every move and just to make sure we don't do anything that may hurt us, because they know better than we do.
If you aren't doing anything wrong, Pat,
there's nothing to worry about.
See?
You're exactly right, Keith. Exactly right. More coming up. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. We're talking about the nasal spray thing. They're berating people that are saying that the nasal spray has helped them get over or not even contract COVID-19. Something about the viral load and spraying that antiseptic into your nostrils, I guess, kills the virus maybe.
This is preventative right now.
Yeah? All right.
Just don't judge me. Just trying to stay healthy.
Is it an antiseptic or is it just antihistamine?
It's chlorine. Just straight
chlorine.
Well, yeah,
straight up chlorine.
Straight up chlorine. All
right. Clorox bleach, like yeah.
I mean,
don't try that at home.
It's a little
please.
strong, but it's clearing the nasal passages.
Because Keith, this is so dangerous. Americans don't know that you're not supposed to do that, so don't be telling them that.
That's right.
They're
Judy,
so stupid.
Judy, this is actually I don't even know what this is, but it's not that.
It's not Clorox bleach.
No.
We don't recommend.
Okay.
Spritzing.
You got
Clorox
that YouTube?
bleach
It was
in your
a
nostrils.
joke because he's talking about nasal sprays, and I had one in here in the drawer.
And he had one and pretended it was Clorox bleach, but it wasn't.
Yeah. It's a shame that our society is at the point where you have to say that.
I don't know that it is, though. I mean, you got to be pretty moronic. Yeah, okay, I'm going to try the Clorox bleach. I'm going to try that.
Remember the lady that had the old fish medicine or whatever?
Yeah, but she was trying to kill her husband.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, she was trying to kill her husband.
Yeah.
Ron in Michigan, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, guys. How are you this morning?
Good.
I'm pretty crappy.
Really concerned, or
yes, I do.
You just making small talk? You do care. All right.
No, I do care. Yes, I do. Hey, you're talking about the nasal thing. My son was playing independent league pro ball out in California this past summer, and he had gotten COVID-19, gotten over it, but then another guy came into the house where he lived with it, and he tested positive again. And I said, and I knew about the nasal load thing and all that. And I said, you know what? Go get one of those Navage things at CVS that rinses out your sinuses with salt water. I said, do it. Go do that. And then when you go to get tested again, rinse out your nose right before you go. And he did. And he said, Dad, I bought it. I used it. I tested negative the very next day.
Interesting. Wow.
Yes. And I said, because I think it's up in your sinuses. You just got to wash it out. And the salt water, the virus is fairly delicate. If you remember, it dies in the sunlight. Remember that?
Yes.
And I said, I think salt water would just tear it apart, and I bet you'll test positive if you just rinse your nose out. And he did.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, and he didn't have any further symptoms either. He went back to playing, and everything was great. So
fantastic.
So wait, so that's how you get around a test, right? I mean, if it's already up in your cavity and infected your...
he did not get sick. That was it.
Wow.
He tested negative from there on out.
It's crazy.
That's interesting.
That's great.
And I've been using it throughout this whole thing, and I have never contracted the virus.
The Navage thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it sprays into your nasal cavity, and then does it go out the other one?
That device is a pump. It uses salt water. It has a little packet that makes saline water, and then it pumps it up into, it draws it up into one nostril and flushes it out the other, and it collects in the bottom.
Is that kind of an unpleasant sensation, or?
Yes.
No, actually not.
No,
actually
it's not.
It's not like getting like water up your nose. No, it just rinses it out. It takes about 30 seconds, and I have a big supply of the saline packets, and I do it probably a couple, 2-3 times a week. Just to I'm also a singer, so it helps keep my sinuses clean. So
nice.
The last time I had an MRI on my sinuses, my doctor said your sinuses are pristine.
Wow,
that's great.
Look at you.
I want pristine sinuses, so maybe I'll get me some.
You should have a T-shirt, Ron, that says "My sinuses are pristine."
Yeah, that'd be great.
I may look right into that. We'll put that up on the Unleashed.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. It's fascinating, and it does seem logical to me. If that's where it kind of coagulates in your nostrils, and then eventually goes throughout your body and you get sick, washing it out would seem to make sense, right?
Yeah, and it seemed like you were really asking Ron some questions on that stuff. I will say that if you have a sinus pressure headache or something. Mm-hmm. That's when that would come in handy, squirting that water up there to try to pull that stuff down. Mm-hmm. It's more of those off-air conversations, but it's pretty intense. I don't know that it's a joyride the way Ron makes it sound.
No, he sounded like it wasn't a hassle at all. I would think that'd be very unpleasant. Like when they jam that stick up your nose to test you. Oof, that is unpleasant. All right, Julia in Texas, you're on the Blaze.
Good morning, guys. How
Morning.
you doing?
Good.
I'm lousy.
And yes, I care.
Aw.
I'm glad to hear that.
I wanted to talk about the Del Rio situation for a second. I live about an hour and a half north of Del Rio in good old Sonora, Texas, in Sutton County. And I'm about to get ready to go round up goats with my family. We use split reins on our horses, but we don't whip anything. But we will have to use a rope.
For the goats?
We may have to actually use a rope now and then.
Wow.
So, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, they're not talking about how all the hotels are full of Border Patrol and state troopers, that are going down to Del Rio in our area. And I spoke with a Border Patrol officer that came from Arizona, from all the way from Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
They're pulling them all the way from Arizona to come help us here in the Del Rio area. So
it's a mess.
Yes, it is a big mess. And we're having a problem with drug trafficking up in this area as well, and people smuggling people as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to mention that, and I also use a neti pot.
That's it.
For sinuses.
Yeah.
And it's not unpleasant, really. It's not. Really? Once you get used to it, it's really not bad. But it works. It's great. So clear up those sinuses.
Julia,
get your nasal passages.
Julia.
Yes,
how many goats do y'all have?
Oh, in this pasture, probably 400.
Good night. What is the point of a goat? Like just to eat the grass and mow so you don't have to get on the John Deere? What's the reasoning for goats? Because they look creepy.
Meat.
I mean, the eyes are... wait, what was that?
Meat. They're meat goats. They're Spanish goats for meat.
You eat goat? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, delicious.
What's it taste like?
Delicious.
Chicken?
It's a richer flavor, kind of like lamb is a richer flavor.
Kind of gamey?
Goats are too. A little bit. But man, they make the best barbecue.
Good Lord.
Really?
Make the best barbacoa ever.
Goat barbecue.
Goats, they're creepy. Would you agree, Julia? I don't know if it's the eyes or what, but they're just creepy creatures. And now you're eating them?
Their eyes do kind of bug out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Julia.
Think of it this way. It's money.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
thanks.
I'll tell you, though, you work in this studio right here that we're in, you need a neti pot on a regular basis, Mm-hmm. There's a lot of funk in the air in here.
Let me tell you about Rough Greens. I've been talking about Rough Greens for quite a while now. This is a powder that you sprinkle over your dog's food to supplement it because your dog's food is dead food. There's nothing, there's no essential vitamins and minerals or probiotics or omega oils left because it's all been killed in the sterilization process. So you sprinkle this on, and then your dog gets all the nutrients that he or she needs to become more active again and more puppy-like. And they usually absolutely love this stuff. But before you jump in with both feet, you can test it out with your dog and see if your dog does love it. Get a free bag of Rough Greens for you, your dog to try out. I doubt that you're going to sprinkle it on your food. All you have to pay for is shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFF greens.com. Roughgreens.com or 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Pat Gray.
Well, we know that these refugees from Haiti are just here looking for a better life.
Sure.
Why wouldn't we just leave them alone? Just leave them alone. Let them come as they will. El Centro sector Border Patrol agents apprehended an undocumented individual accused of starting fires in the Jacumba Wilderness region on Saturday afternoon. Well, have you ever roasted marshmallows? How many fires have you started roasting marshmallows?
Just wants a better life.
Just want a better life in a place where you can roast marshmallows.
Right.
The incident occurred at approximately 2:15 p.m. when El Centro Station Dispatch notified agents working in the field of a fire in that area. Agents responded to the given location. At approximately 2:50, they located an unknown person in the vicinity of the reported fire, attempting to start another fire.
Oh, boy.
Agents attempted to extinguish the second fire, but had little success. The accused arsonist, an 18-year-old male Mexican national, was arrested for illegal entry into the United States. Well, how about arson, too.
Right.
Jeez.
Just here. Make his life better.
Yeah. They just want a better life. That's all they want to do. And one of the keys to that is to start forest fires.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you want them to be happy, right?
Well, you made a compelling argument about the marshmallows.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all done it. Got some tweets here. Muffer Squish tweets. Next up, check out all these rubes using water, the same substance found in toilets, to wash their hands.
Seriously. If Donald Trump sent out a press release right now, don't forget to wash your hands to stop the spread or something like that. Oh my gosh, that would be the argument. What is he dipping his hands in toilets?
It would. From President Omaha, has that photographer been fired from his job for misinformation yet and canceled from Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, and removed from society? Not yet, but I'm sure he will be.
And the photographer who says that the Border Patrol agents were not whipping Haitians?
Whipping Haitians, yeah. We can't have that.
No, sir.
Rowdy coagulating nasal virus. It's already happened.
There it is.
Potential memo from this administration. Remember our commitment to transparency. Unless it makes us look bad, then pick a talking point and double down as long as it takes until it can be memory hold.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Conscious uncoupling from government. At this point, public interest could mean we try to determine whether they will vote for Democrats or not, and then send back the ones who won't.
That's right. I bet I could see him passing around like a laminated sheet of paper, circle the one you like more, and it's like Pelosi or, yeah.
Oh, that's replacement theory, and that's a white supremacist theory that you're promoting with white supremacists.
It's got a name?
Yeah.
Replacement theory.
Replacement theory.
Sounds like a good band name. Replacement theory.
Okay. We got a great tax plan coming from Joe.
This is good.
Old Joe is talking taxes.
This is a scary soundbite of him talking about the future of the American economy.
All right.
And I know I always kid you when you all ask me about, well, what about, are you going to get A done, B done, C done? Well, I say, you want to negotiate. I'm being a bit facetious, obviously, but here's the deal. This is going to end up, I believe, we're going to end up getting both the pieces of my economic legislation. The first piece, the 1.9, fundamentally changed the structure and the nature of the economy in this country. Even though, remember, it got clobbered. It was this terrible thing. No Republican voted for it. Well, we got real economic growth. Now we're at this stalemate at the moment, and we're going to have to get these two pieces of legislation passed.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Yeah, they're going to start as early as today on the infrastructure. It's going to pass the House today. We'll see what happens in the Senate. But
fundamentally change the structure and nature of the economy in this country.
I mean, we're fine. It's good.
If that doesn't chill you to the bone, nothing will.
And this empty suit, this vessel for Marxism, is even aware that it's going to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're in trouble. What did they say? That inflation is only going to get worse as the year goes on here, Christmas time.
Inflation and the shortages.
Yeah.
Both expected to get worse.
Seriously, order your Christmas presents now.
Yeah. Just prepare yourself. Just be prepared. And another tweet from Joe yesterday. I give you my word as a Biden.
He wrote that
He actually wrote it. Yeah.
I give you my word as a Biden.
What a weird thing. What do you mean you give me your word as a Biden? What's that supposed to mean to me?
Wait.
The whole Biden family sucks.
Right?
They're lying sacks of crap. They're corrupt to the bone.
Right.
And I'm supposed to take your word as a Biden? That's supposed to mean something positive to me?
Seriously.
Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
A career politician and a junkie for a son, and that's the word we're taking to the bank? Okay, bro.
I give you my word as a Biden. What is
that
supposed to mean to me?
That does not help your case, man.
Wow. I mean, maybe if it's Abraham Lincoln's son and he's saying, I give you my word as a Lincoln, that would mean something to me. I give you my word as a Biden doesn't exactly inspire confidence and trust. Strange, but that's how he started out this tweet. But if you make, you've got his word as a Biden here. If you make under $400,000 a year, I'll never raise your taxes 1 cent. But I'm going to make those at the top start to pay for their fair share in taxes. It's only fair. Oh, my gosh.
It's only fair. What, you don't like? Oh, you don't like fairness.
I love fairness.
Uh-huh.
They're going to start to pay their fair share? What was that story in New York from Bill Maher? In New Yorkers, or was it Californians? I forgot.
62 and 59%?
Yes. If keeping only 38% of your salary isn't your fair share, I'm sorry. You're a freaking lunatic. And what was his other thing? 400 New Yorkers pay 50% of the tax burden?
Yeah, 51% of the taxes in New York City
are paid by 400 families. That's way more than their fair share. Come on.
I'm looking right now, and I'm not going to be able to find it on the fly because it's such a specific number I'm looking for. I want to know the average income for a small business owner in America. That's what I want to find, because what they're cooking up right now,
it's going to kill small business owners,
which is going to kill jobs.
Yes, which we're already having a difficult time with staffing, jobs, staffing industries, staffing businesses.
Now there is a celebrity pushing back on this tax plan and moving to Texas to join us down here.
And you might be surprised who it is. Tell you about it coming up on Pat Gray Unleashed. Great to have you with us. How comforting it is to have heard again that Joe Biden has given us his word as a Biden that he won't raise taxes on anybody making less than $400,000 a year. He's given us his word as a Biden. Wow. That's gold. That is gold right there. That's like Lance Armstrong telling you, I give you my word as an Armstrong. I did not take steroids. Okay, Lance. I believe you. Just like I believe Joe Biden. Because he gave me his word as a Biden. That is rock solid, man. I give you my word as a Nixon. So ridiculous.
I'll give you my word as an Obama.
Who does he think that means something to?
That does not help your case, man.
It doesn't. It just does not. But there is a rapper who's a little sick and tired of the taxation situation. And that person is 50 Cent. That's what he had to say.
Yeah. The headlines tell the story. It says 50 Cent bashes Biden tax plan, endorses Trump, and on down the line. We all know what's happened since then. But give it to us straight here on the news. Were you endorsing Donald Trump? What were you getting at then?
His tax plan, I didn't realize I would be paying 62% of my income back to the IRS. So that does change a lot. The New York City will change dramatically. Like they're going to end up moving to different territories. You look at all the Silicon Valley is now in Austin, Texas. So you'll start to see people moving from these places to new places that make sense for them to hold on to just what they're earning, not to, to have it just taken from them by the government.
Nice. I got one more question on this before we get to BMF, which is fast forward to nowadays. And Joe Biden is president, and he is talking about raising certain taxes. Take a listen.
Pay your fair share, just like middle-class folks do. Trickle-down economics has never worked, and it's time to grow the economy from the bottom and the middle out.
That's the argument. That's the substance of why he says it's necessary. What's your response to that today, now that he's president?
No. When you just tell an individual that you're going to not keep 62% of your earnings because you live in this area, I don't like New York City that much. I don't like the people enough to stay. I'm moving, Ari. I'm going to Texas. I got my cowboy hat, everything.
Got a cowboy hat.
Everything's bigger in Texas. It's really beautiful people. It's nice people in Texas.
So he's already moved? Because that was in the past tense. It said, I moved to Texas.
I don't know. But he says he's already got his cowboy hat. And so,
Good for him.
The people are better here for the record. That's absolutely true.
Nicer people than in New York, as a rule.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I just hope that more people are opening their eyes, especially the black community, and it seems like they are slowly but surely. Trump had a lot to do with finally getting that shift to start occurring.
Yeah. Speaking of all these taxes, apparently Biden has his own tax situation going on. Republicans say a new nonpartisan report indicates Biden improperly avoided paying Medicare taxes before he took office, raising eyebrows and the possibility that he owes the IRS as much as $500,000 in back taxes.
Uh-oh.
Biden is leading the Democrat push, of course, for $3.5 trillion to subsidize child care, education, and health care by targeting tax avoidance and raising taxes on higher incomes.
Wow.
So that the rich pay their fair share.
Yeah, did you notice one of those clips that CNBC played in their little montage was that Biden wants to grow the economy? It stood out to me from the bottom and the middle out. Yeah. That's, I don't know about you, but that's not success to me. No. Oh, good. There's going to be more middle class people?
Yeah.
Is that's the definition of success? Don't you want people to lift up? Don't they need to go up?
You would think so, yeah.
And experience,
but these people don't, because they're Marxists.
Exactly.
They want everybody to suffer equally.
They need a class beneath them. But, there's $500,000 that Joe Biden owes. That could change lives if you gave that to the right program, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But he knows what he's talking about.
Does he?
He's got this economy. He knows what he's doing. I mean, a lot of people might think that he doesn't. Like he's, this tax plan isn't good. Like the new budget isn't good. We're sick and tired of hearing about infrastructure. But he knows what he's doing.
The vast majority of economists, left, right, and center,
right,
from Wall Street to the private economic polling initiatives.
Okay, to the private economic polling initiatives, or the PEPI, I guess, the private economic polling initiatives. Okay, so he knows because he's gotten experts from there that have talked to him about this situation. And I guess they suggested that redistribution of wealth from Karl Marx is a really good plan. It's a really good way to grow the economy from the middle out. So good luck with that.
Oh, this is fun, right?
And thank you, Democrats, for this guy, for this dementia-riddled buffoon.
81 million strong.
The most ever in history. That's how loved he is. That's how good he is. Yeah.
No, it's the highest number next to a presidential candidate is all that is.
Yeah. Also, the White House cut a live feed. Didn't we show this last week? Was this the same one, or is this another incident?
No.
Let me see it, because it might be a new episode where they cut his feed again. Let's see this.
Uh-oh.
No, this is new.
Yeah, he's having trouble with a tablet or something. Watch this.
You can just hear that. Well, it's under here.
I can't get this to function at all.
I can't get this to function. You got to turn it on, Mr. President.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, and they cut the feed. Here's a new one. The amount of times that has happened is unbelievable.
I can't get this to function at
all. It's unbelievable. I can't turn on this device. How do you do what? I said to it a minute.
It's the
turn on.
No.
And it didn't do that.
Let me show you, Mr. President. There's a
iPad.
No.
Turn on.
See, there's this power button. He's got the circle, he's got the little line there.
No.
I've told you this like at least
buttons
3 dozen times.
Buttons are on shirts.
No.
They're on shirts.
Okay, this button right here.
Right.
Sir, you know what? Let me guide your finger. Put your finger.
Is there a zipper on this too?
Boy, your fingers are cold. Are you like dead? Yeah. Okay, put your finger right. That's the button right there.
It's from putting putting my fingers into pudding.
Well, you got to stop doing that.
Pudding.
Is that why you're always licking them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Now it makes sense. Now it's all sticky and gross on my hand now. Ugh. Yeah. Just put your finger right there, sir.
Okay.
That is the power button.
Okay.
I have said this. I've written Post-it notes.
I was trying to tell you that buttons go on shirts.
We've written this on your hand. We've written this in the mirror in the Lincoln bedroom, and we've said, hey, whenever you forget something, go into the bathroom in the Lincoln bedroom. It's all this stuff is written on a mirror in there. Do you not remember this conversation, sir?
Look, I've said too much, etc.
Push the button.
He's terrible. He's
now,
absolutely
granted,
terrible.
that right there is a conversation that I have with our IT guy all the time. I can't get this thing to function at all. I mean, I'm always saying that about something that I'm using here in the building. But the difference is...
you're not president, for one thing?
I'm not president, but the fact that every time he shows just a moment of weakness, pull the feed! Pull it!
Yep.
No questions asked.
Yep. And the media never asks about it. They never say, hey, you shut off another feed on this guy. What's going on? What's the deal? Do you not have confidence that he can handle any situation?
Yeah.
Wow. What if something, really goes haywire? Are we going to just cut ourselves off from the rest of the world? How do you justify that?
Yeah, they knew they were getting an empty vessel for all their Marxist ideology, but they didn't.
It's working.
I don't think they realized it was this empty.
Also, Biden called Trump a naughty name.
What?
Yeah, called him a naughty name when he saw a big screen in the White House to practice golf. Now, why is he an effing a-hole? Just because he had a giant golf screen.
So the story
in
goes,
the White House.
Biden moves in, sees this, and then starts calling Trump names because of it?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm sorry. After you guys gave him crap for 4 years, every time the man would walk onto a golf course, he tries to play in the privacy of the White House, and now that makes him a jerk too?
Yeah.
My gosh. I mean, you can't, the poor man cannot win at all with any of these people.
According to this new book, Peril, by Bob Woodward and Robert Costa, Biden reportedly had trouble adjusting to living in the White House. Yeah, that's got to be tough to have, 52,000 square feet to deal with. That's hard. That's a tough life. Because what bedroom do you sleep in? There's like 90 of them. I don't know where to go. When he first moved in, Biden found Trump's toys all over the White House. One of them was a projector screen that displayed virtual golf courses. The president also found the White House cold and likened it to a tomb. What is it? It's so cold in here. Yeah, it's just because you're so old, Joe. I know you don't have circulation anymore. Okay, that's what happens when you're pushing 80, you're going to be cold even when it's 75 degrees in the room or 77 degrees in the room. That's the truth.
My goodness.
Oh, that's bumming it.
Thank you.
Right.
My goodness. Well, you know what? With how many square feet did you say the White House is? Is it 52,000?
52,000.
So can we not just block off part of it and just turn it into a nursing home facility?
They're going to have to here pretty soon. So, yeah, and then they can just continue to deny that anything's wrong.
Yeah, then they can stop. Because I contend there's something going on at Camp David where they have got it set up for like there's some sort of special thing he goes there.
He goes there and Delaware all the time. So something is going on. And maybe it's just as simple as he's got to get away from the Washington press corps because they're, watching him and they don't as much in Delaware. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe he's getting treatments or he's seeing a certain doctor and they don't want to log him at the White House.
He gets reprogrammed on a regular basis.
That's possible too. But whoever's doing it is not being named because whoever shows up at Delaware is not written down like they do at the White House, which is why he leaves all the time so he doesn't have to record who's visiting him.
I'm not being facetious here when I say I wonder if there's some sort of intense like 3-day dementia therapy that you can do. I
don't know. Maybe.
What a mess.
Yeah. But how can you not have these thoughts when he is as bad as he is? You got to wonder. And the media, as a rule, won't ask these questions. And if they do, they get drummed out of the room by the stupid White House spokesperson. It's off limits to ask any of those kinds of questions. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. The ACLU is slamming golf for being the whitest of sports.
All right.
Yeah. They're pressuring Central Michigan University to bring back their men's track and field team, citing that the original decision is having far-reaching racial implications. So I guess they went to golf instead of... Now, because of Title IX, many universities have to pick and choose what sport they're going to sponsor because they have to have as many or more women's sports. And so many of the men's sports have been canceled in the last, 30 or 40 years since Title IX came around. So they probably wanted golf and canceled track and field so that they could start playing golf in the NCAA. Well, now, oh my gosh, you got a bunch of whiteys in golf. I'm sorry. Should we force blacks and Hispanics to participate in golf? The best player in the world for 15 years was black or more. Mm-hmm. I mean, Tiger Woods is revered. If that doesn't encourage other minorities to play, what are you supposed to do? Force them into it?
Yeah.
How do you encourage blacks to play a sport, for instance, golf? Well, you have a very successful black person who gets all kinds of publicity. Gee, I wonder if that could ever happen. I mean, it's been happening.
And shame on the ACLU for even recognizing race. I thought we were past that. Like, how do they know there's only white people? I don't see race.
You don't see... Oh, then you're a racist if you don't see race.
Wait, I was told...
Because that's the opposite now.
No, I was raised to not see color.
Yeah, that's gone. Those were horrible days. Those were like Jim Eagle days. Jim Crow on steroids.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I need to...
I'm glad you brought that up because now we understand a lot about you.
Sure, and the re-education camp is waiting. When's my train leave? Okay.
Exactly. And you'll be on it. I give you my word as a Biden.
Yeah, I know
You'll be on
this.
that train.
Oh, I'll be on the first train.
All right. Let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. This is where you go when you're looking for a really good realtor that you can trust and that you can get along with, because you spend a lot of time with your realtor when you're looking for a house. When we first moved to Dallas, I think we looked at, 45 or 50 different places before we finally made up our mind. So when you're spending that much time with a realtor, driving around or meeting them at a house, you really want to get along with somebody. And these are all fans of the show, so you're going to have a lot in common with them. You're not going to run into roadblocks like, man, isn't this Joe Biden doing a great job? Isn't he wonderful? Isn't it nice to have a president you can be proud of again? Real Estate Agents I Trust. Plus, they can sell your home in the shortest amount of time for the most amount of money, which is what you're looking for. And they've got great track records that would lead you to believe that that's going to be the case. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com.
What number do people call to get on the air? I mean, do we have that number?
Why, yes, there is a phone number you can call. 888-900-3393. It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
That's interesting.
With some tweets here. Coffee Lover M. First, you get a well health safety seal. Then you begin to be a neti potty health trends influencer. Yes, that's us.
Neti pot guy right here.
Neti pot, not neti potty. Did I say potty? I don't know. Neti pot.
Now, Neti Potty does things you don't want to discuss on the show.
You don't want to know about that.
Yeah, but you are Mr. Neti Pot, I think it's safe to say.
We are doomed. Tweets, why is it every person who gets a goat, gerbil, ferret, or any other random animal always says it tastes like chicken? If that's the case, then just eat chicken and call it goat.
Right?
You could.
It's a lot of trouble to raise goat just so you can eat them.
Jeffy's Meat Sweats tweets, putting debt on our unborn grandchildren is okay. They need to pay their fair share. They're not going to put any debt on our grandchildren because the rich are going to pay for all $3.5 trillion. Haven't you been listening? They're just going to tax the rich and finally make them pay their fair share, and everything will be taken care of. It's actually a $0 bill because it's all paid for.
Like our children don't have to pay any of this debt?
No. You have his word as a Biden.
I give you my word as a Biden.
There you go. You got his word.
Well, now I got to reassess my thoughts on this whole debt spending thing.
Or as Cardi T tweets, I give you my word as a fisher. Well, that's golden right there. Jeffy's Third Tail tweets, Pat, so you're saying that if Hunter Biden wants to borrow your laptop and a few grand and he gives you his word as a Biden, you're not going to give it to him? What's the worst that could happen? I don't know. Russian spies, probably.
That's the worst.
That's the worst. That's the worst possible scenario. Anthony Osh tweets, Biden may not raise taxes on some folks, but he has already raised gas prices, food prices, construction prices, and many more on those making less than $400,000 a year.
Thank you. We've already paid the tax increase. It's the Biden tax, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good point, Anthony.
He got to go!
That's right. Through really bad governance, he really has raised the price of everything. That's why we're seeing 5.3% inflation, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse, probably. It'd be nice to be able to put the brakes on, at least by next year, by giving Republicans back control so they can block some of this stuff. I don't expect them to do anything good, but maybe they can at least run interference until 2024. That's what I'm hoping for and praying for. Nancy Pelosi last week, apparently the House passed a bill to protect abortion rights at the federal level.
See how quickly the Democrats on a national level react to a law in a state?
Yeah.
This is their priority, murdering babies. Look how quickly they turn this thing around to react to this.
Yeah, Pelosi spoke about it, and she's not happy. She is not happy that less babies are going to be killed. She's pissed off about that. Allow her to be able to sanction the murder of babies, or there's going to be hell to pay. Here she is talking about it.
The bill is passed without objection. A motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
Oh, she's so excited.
In some ways, this is a great day for the women and indeed all of the families of America.
Oh.
In another way, it's sad that it is so necessary because of actions of that Supreme Court supporting legislation that is shameful in every way to our country and what we are about.
We're about killing
but
children?
Many of us have waited a long time
That's bad.
to be able to pass Roe v. Wade into the law of the land as it is has guaranteed the constitutional right of women to choose. But now it will be the law of the land codified. This is about women's right to choose, yes. But it's about freedom of that choice, and freedom from the vigilantes, the bounty hunters that the Texas government
you've seen them out here on the highway.
Legislature has set in motion.
Wait,
this has so many
bounty
things
hunters?
going against it.
Yes.
You have to
It
wonder
seems like the
what
abortion
the Supreme
doctors
Court
would be the bounty
justices
hunters.
were thinking, or were they thinking? Or were they thinking?
Or we
they
got it. You said it
were
twice,
not
so it's
respecting women.
more effective that way. Or were they thinking?
Jeez, that's...
Or were they thinking?
This is so bad.
But, I mean, she makes a good point because this has actually been one of the talking points of the left about the bounty hunters. You find people
bounty hunters?
Yeah, you find the people that are enabling the abortions and you turn them in and you get your bounty, right?
I see.
And so...
So the abortion doctors aren't looking for a bounty by getting paid to murder children.
No.
Babies.
No, that's old thing. And you've seen them out here. I mean, we should probably address this.
Yeah.
Just on your short commute home from here.
They line the roadways.
Yeah, they're out here like the Taliban, and they're stopping cars looking for pregnant women that are on their way to get abortions.
Right.
Or where did you just get an abortion? Coming with me.
No,
you're coming with me.
No, I'm
you
a
look
man.
guilty. No, you look guilty. Pregnant persons.
Not that I can't get pregnant. I'm just saying I haven't been yet.
Persons.
I'm not pregnant.
Get out of the car.
Oh, I
Okay.
don't want to.
And see, there the Speaker of the House is trying to prevent that from continuing as it's been happening for the last several weeks here.
Thank you, Nance.
In the Lone Star State.
Thank you,
because it's getting a little awkward because, I mean, I like to drive fast. And these checkpoints for pregnant women here out on Highway 114 really starting to get under my skin. But that's the priority of the left, right? It's not.
Abortion. They love it. And they worship at the altar of it. I don't know why, but it means a lot to them. It means everything to them. Almost everything.
It's weird, man.
It is. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Some tweets here from Oops, All Berries. When Biden said, I can't get this to function at all, he was talking about his brain. Oh, that's probably true.
Now we get it.
Tyler Produces tweets, I'd have trouble living in a 50,000 square foot mansion, too, if I had dementia. What? Where am I? Where's Bo with my pudding? Ooh.
Fun.
Yeah. Carl Smith. I think you misunderstand that Biden clip. He was reading a note from one staffer to another, referring to the problem they're having getting Joe to function.
Yeah.
Could also be the case.
Okay.
Yeah, it really could. Hey, Scientific American took on Star Wars.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. In a story published the other day titled, Why the Term Jedi is Problematic for Describing Programs That Promote Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, the Jedi are inappropriate mascots for social justice. They say the scientific world should jettison the Jedi, including naming anything after them or displaying any Star Wars memorabilia in common workplaces, because the Space Knights are emblems for a host of dangerously reactionary values and assumptions. The Jedi are a religious order of intergalactic police monks prone to white saviorism.
Oh, no.
And toxically masculine approaches to conflict resolution. Violent duels with phallic lightsabers, gaslighting by means of Jedi mind tricks, etc. Star Wars arguably conflates alienness with non-whiteness, often seeming to rely on racist stereotypes when depicting non-human species. This is so stupid. Should somebody alert the Scientific American people that Star Wars isn't real? Why are you critiquing a fairy tale, essentially? And B, the Jedi are incredibly diverse. Yoda was green, okay, not white. He was green. And a teeny little guy, he was a little person. Judge me by my size, do you? And well, you should not. For my ally is the Force. Yes? Yes? No. By the way, Samuel L. Jackson played Windu. Seems like he's black. Who's that chick on the cartoon with the weird head? With the flowing, thick things that come down.
Are my kids awake?
To her shoulders. She's black. So don't tell me that it's about white saviors.
Yeah,
it's just asinine.
This is madness. Have you ever thought of a lightsaber as a phallic symbol?
No.
Oh my gosh, that
Not
person,
ever.
the author, needs help.
Seriously, these people are just sick. They're just sick in their heads. And who's using Star Wars as a means for social justice? I've never seen it. Maybe somebody's doing that. I don't know. And George Lucas would probably sanction that kind of use for Star Wars, being the lefty that he is. But it's ridiculous. It's stupid. Should we also mention the fact that midichlorians don't exist, and they shouldn't be talking about that because they're going to trick people into thinking midichlorians are real? And the key to the Force? Stupid.
It's a good time to be alive. Am I right?
You are right. And you just said a mouthful. A mouthful.
It's, is there anything, and the answer is no. Is there anything that the left can leave alone?
No.
Please?
No. You already touched on the answer, which you rightly said is no. There's nothing. There's nothing that they won't besmirch or ruin along the way. Jeez.
I cannot imagine having a child today in this country for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
It's just,
difficult.
God bless you, young parents. And
yes,
I have no idea how you're going to.
And please pay attention to what they're hearing in school, please.
Yeah, or homeschool.
Or homeschool. Better yet, homeschool. All right, well, let's watch some fun windmills because everything's been so heavy and irritating.
Well, you remember the first one, right? From last week that we did?
It started spinning really fast. Horses began running.
Look at that. Look at you.
Running away from it.
Keep playing the same animal video.
The horses knew.
Over and over.
Man, they knew. And watch this thing. speed up, and explode. Apparently, that's not the only time that's happened.
Yeah, somebody sent us another video of a windmill doing its thing.
Check this out.
Look at that. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's a fire.
That's suboptimal right there. Wow. Wow.
I don't know that that's generating enough electricity to make it worth its while.
The answer is almost certainly no, it isn't. No, it's not. So here's something that could help on this climate change situation, though. Researchers have developed the whitest paint in the world.
Okay, is that allowed?
Racist?
Yeah.
Why are you developing white paint and making it even whiter?
Yeah, let me stop you there, environmentalist.
They say the whitest paint in the world could reduce the need for air conditioning. What? At Purdue University, an ultra-white paint developed at Purdue can reflect sunlight and make the room cooler. It can reflect 98.1% of solar radiation and also emit infrared heat. What? This white paint could eliminate the need for air conditioning in houses. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I'm not turning my air conditioner off. Nice try.
Seriously, exactly what they want you to do.
That's going to be environmentalist versus the woke. The green versus the woke. Oh yeah, the green movement says, look at this paint. We can cut back energy use and save on greenhouse gases and blah blah blah. And then the woke says, what color's the paint?
Right.
Oh.
And when they find out it's white, we're going to have to cancel all the scientists who came up with the paint.
Yeah,
cancel them.
Get out of here with that racist paint color of yours.
You know who's a little irritated with the whole cancel culture? This might surprise you. Well, maybe not, too, because he's kind of been canceled in a way. Johnny Depp. Hollywood actor, leftist Johnny Depp is a little pissed off about cancel culture. And you might think, well, why? It's because of his little trial with his ex-wife, Amber Heard. It had some issues, and she claims that he was abusive. So here's what he's saying now about cancel culture.
Do I feel safe myself?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he does.
I do.
He does. Now.
Okay, feel safe.
Okay.
Nice hat.
Because it's important when you're faced with something as mind-bogglingly.
He's good.
He is good.
Get there faster!
Bewildering.
Are you awake, Johnny?
That sort of thing hits you from many, many angles.
Hello, John.
First,
you okay?
First is what?
Wait, what?
What?
Is he asking for the question again? Did he forget the question?
I did.
What?
So
what?
What are we doing here?
Because maybe
What?
Because
quite a while back now.
Okay.
Prior to.
Yeah.
The various movements that came out.
This is
like Me Too, right? Is that what you're thinking of?
Coupled with, I'm sure, the best of intentions. However,
say it.
Say it.
Say it.
He can't.
It's so far out of hand now that I can promise you that no one is safe.
No one is safe. He's right about this.
Not one of you.
Taking a long way to get to the well,
but out that door, no one is safe as long as someone is willing,
right, to say
one sentence,
and that is
takes one sentence.
What's the sentence?
You should have said one sentence, then, dude.
And then there's no more ground.
Okay.
But it's not just me.
No,
this has happened to.
Like a freaking marathon. We're running 26.2 miles.
A lot of people
with John Depp.
This type of thing has happened to. women, men, children who've suffered from.
What is going on? I don't know. He's lost me now. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Types of unpleasantries.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That.
Oh my.
Sadly, at a certain point,
cut the mic
they begin
off.
to think that it's normal.
I see.
Or that it's them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or how much more do you have to say?
When it's not.
This is hurting me.
Show ends at
nobody.
So
out there.
We only have 10 hours this week to do show stuff, John, if you would. We only got 10 hours.
I'm climbing the walls trying to get away from this sound button.
That is almost as bad as his Sauvage commercials.
Hey, hold on a second, Nate. This is a lie. This show sheet, it says this clip is 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Rob, how long was that clip?
18 minutes.
Oh my gosh, it really was 3:05. It felt like 12 minutes long.
It did.
Johnny?
And
Johnny? Mr. Depp? Mr. Depp, could you answer the question, please?
Psychiatry.
They're going to kick us out of this conference room here where we've got this press gaggle assembled if we don't
people
speed it up.
Have
tell you what,
I can't. I'm going to pass out.
Honestly,
that's incredible.
Like waiting at the DMV.
You don't think he was on drugs?
Takes
him?
No.
There
Come on.
Couldn't have been.
Don't
any
disparage the Depp.
Right. Yeah.
Come on.
I apologize. I shouldn't have even brought that up.
Thank you. Just so you know, that 3 minute and 5 second clip, which it felt like eternity, that could have been a 10-second clip. He could have just literally said
20 at the outside, 20 seconds.
He could have just simply said, "No one's safe." In this new reality today, nobody's safe. Next question.
Which he kind of contradicted himself. He said he felt safe in the beginning or whatever.
That's right. But that was...
yes.
How old were you when he said, I felt safe?
I was 12 years old.
See, and we got to the end, and we had already forgotten that he had mentioned that part.
I was 60 by the time he finished.
You went from 12... Point that out. Yeah, Pat Gray was 12 when we started this clip. By the time we got to the end, 60. Your memory being better than mine, you remembered the point that he made earlier, contradicted a point 30 years later.
Mm-hmm. That is incredible. Wow. Man. But there's a guy who's been through the ringer. He lost some gigs. He lost some movies. In fact, one of them was that movie that he probably would have benefited for a long time to come with the J.K. Rowling movie.
Oh.
You know, The Beasts or whatever? The kind of spin-off of Fantastic Beasts. The spin-off of Harry Potter. And she went with him the first time and just suffered the slings and arrows that everybody was throwing and shooting at her. But the second time was too much.
Was that her decision?
And so they had to cut him.
Because she has her own fights, with
she does.
Daring to call women.
Right.
And
I know.
Not calling men.
And she is a big time lefty. And yet she won't go with that non-scientific nonsense that women can get pregnant and all that kind of stuff. Or women can get pregnant, but men can get pregnant. She won't give you that. And if you are a woman with a wiener,
okay,
she won't call you a woman. So that's
everyone been sufficiently canceled yet? Like, is there anybody that has not been canceled to one degree or another left in our society?
Not many. Not many. If you're not canceled, you should hide. You should hide right now and just keep quiet and stay off Twitter. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Moink. This is something that makes the world better because just delicious meat, just makes things so much better. You know, you got the sizzle of the steak, you got the bacon cooking. Oh,
yeah.
If you could see and taste the bacon. Have you tried the bacon from Moink?
And that's the problem here is that there's just so much awesomeness with Moink that when you're putting together the Moink box, you're trying to figure out, okay, do I want the awesome salmon? Do I want the awesome, bone-in ribeye?
Oh, yeah.
But bottom line is you get the bacon that comes with it. They just throw that in.
So good. It is so good. And the salmon is so good because it's caught fresh in the wild. You know, this is not farm-grown stuff.
So good.
So they get it in its natural habitat. Plus, Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, of course, the wild-caught Alaskan salmon, direct to your door. Really good. Their animals are raised outdoors. Their fish swim wild in the ocean. And Moink meat is free of antibiotics, hormones, sugar, and all the other junk you find prepackaged in the meat aisle. It's really worth it. I love this stuff. Keith loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a try. It's moinkbox.com/Pat. Moink was founded by an 8th-generation farmer who was featured on Shark Tank. Host Kevin O'Leary said it was the best bacon he's ever tasted. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamie Siminoff, creator of the Ring video doorbell, invested in Moink as well. That's how impressed she was with it. So go to moinkbox.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. Speaking of meat, you know what the big deal right now is? It's not just plant-based meat, which, really? But they're also growing meat in laboratories.
No.
Please, don't.
This has got to stop. We got to nip this in the bud.
It's got to stop. I saw a really good article from somebody who likes the idea of growing meat in a laboratory in a test tube or whatever, and then mass manufacturing it. But the conclusion they reached was it is so incredibly impractical and impossible. Forget what it's going to taste like at the end of the line, or if it's healthy for you at the end of the madness. It apparently can never be cost effective to do something like this. It's something like, I think they're producing it for, I don't remember the exact number, but it was thousands of dollars per pound, as opposed to $8.50 a pound or whatever, $10 a pound, $20 for really good steak.
Yeah, that's what they do. They make sure that the market is manipulated enough where, it's impractical.
Yes.
And then you're forced to do this.
Yes.
But no, thank you.
Now, Leonardo DiCaprio has invested in Israeli cultured meat, a big startup called Aleph Farms. I'm kind of surprised that he's involved with an Israeli. That's a good sign,
That crossed my mind as well.
That's interesting. He invested in an undisclosed amount of money in Israeli alternative meat startup Aleph Farms, a maker of cultivated meat that grows from modified cattle cells.
Nice.
Is the dinner bell ringing for you now? You bet. You bet.
Nice.
The investment was made as part of Aleph Farms' $105 million Series B funding round in July. The thing is, leftists love this, and so they are funding it like crazy, despite the fact that it looks to me, based on what I've read, and I'm not a scientist, but it doesn't look like it's ever going to be practical. But good luck with that. You go ahead and grow it. You go ahead and eat it. I think I'm going to stick to cows.
Yeah, I'm getting hunger pangs just thinking about the lab-grown meat.
Right? Because, man, that sounds really, really delicious. Cultured.
Let me eat!
Cultured in a test tube.
Wow.
Oh. Yum, yum. All right, let's go to Aaron in South Carolina. Hey, Aaron, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, Pat and Keith.
Hey.
So this isn't why I called in, but how many pounds of drugs over how long a period of time do you think were responsible for that Johnny Depp clip?
Man, I mean, untold pounds over untold years. It's a lot. It's a number too high for me to even guess at. All right, go ahead.
Right. So, so you guys talked a little bit the other day about the whole national divorce thing. You had Sarah Silverman's clip on.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm looking at, the county-by-county voting map of the U.S. and going, it's almost entirely red. right? If we had a national divorce, then the red states would control all production, all food. They'd be left with almost nothing. How does, with the left's just lust for power, how does that not lead almost immediately to war?
Yeah, it may. It probably would. Because, yeah, you're right. Most of the counties and almost all rural areas are conservative. They vote Republican. But it's just, I mean, they'd have places like San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, and they'd have to make do with that. Right? I appreciate the call, Aaron. It'll never happen, of course. But it is fun to entertain the thought.
I mean, if the blue states could just have their own little world, we'll have the real beef, right? The cows would be out in the Midwest.
Yeah, and they can grow their own beef
they got
want
labs,
to.
Right? We can drill for oil.
Yes.
And they can do their little green energy stuff.
And they can do the exploding windmills.
Right.
That'd be great for
them.
that's
just two examples off the top of my head that just shows, look, you can do your deal, we'll do ours, and everybody be happy.
You'd be completely unarmed, and when China invades, you can do nothing about it, and we'll wish you good luck in your unarmed conflict with them.
And don't retreat into our territory because, it's going to be impossible because there's going to be a wall there keeping you from it.
So high that you can see it from space. In fact, so high will this wall be built that you could see it from Mars. That's how high this wall is.
So high that it's going to squeeze the atmosphere up into space, and it's going to be very rainy on your side.
Right.
Okay. Because
so deal with it.
And,
Deal with
We're going to affect weather patterns with our wall. It's going to be so high. That's what I'm trying to say.
Monica in Texas, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning.
So you play last Wednesday a video that we posted on Facebook, which we are very surprised is still up. But the reason why I didn't say the ivermectin is because we were afraid to be canceled.
Oh, wow. Is that you in the video opening that box?
Yes, sir. That's me. And my husband, Larry Mill, is in the background. He's here, too.
Oh, that's great.
Hey.
Great. So, but the ivermectin worked for you?
Oh, my brother got sick in Mexico City. I'm from Mexico City. We missionaries in El Salvador. But my husband prescribed ivermectin to my brother. He was very sick for 2 months, very, very bad. And his sister-in-law was recovered with ivermectin in less than 3 days because we cut it on time.
Wow.
So ivermectin he's been prescribing that for over a year already.
So you have a doctor who will prescribe it, right? So you don't have to go to a feed store and buy the horse dewormer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Over there, what was very surprising to it, very makes me angry, is that arriving over there with the mission work that we do, one of our friends was in the hospital with COVID. They gave him that little bag, and ivermectin, they have 6 milligrams, but the dose is 12 milligrams, 3 times, 3 days. 2 times 3 days, and he got better, and a lot of people are recovering.
Wow, that's great.
And, I'll let you talk to Laura, my husband right now, but I just wanted to let you know that we were very surprised when we arrived that people are getting the right doses, the right treatment, and they necessarily had to be vaccinated.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Monica. Obviously working for a lot of people. 888-900-3393. Use that number tomorrow. We'll see you then on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.